The price increases come first, and then the workers say, okay, look, I have to pay more to live, so you got to pay me some more money, right? That's always the way that it happens.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
You know, there was a hearing last week in the Senate Health, Education, and Pension Committee that really made the news. We're going to talk about why in the second half of the show. I think y'all know why, and, you know, we have to talk about it, obviously. But for our local Alabama audience, I wanted to bring the local side of this, where our own senior U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville participated in the hearing. You'll remember that basically any time he participates in these hearings, it is on the side of the company. When Bernie Sanders held a hearing about the strike situation at Warrior Met Coal in Alabama, Tommy Tuberville, the person who is ostensibly tasked with representing us, with representing the Alabama coal miners, read from a company press release. A company that is not owned by Alabamians, but rather is owned by international private equity firms, BlackRock, in New York and D.C. He's reading from the company press release of out-of-town billionaires directly to his constituents because there were Alabama coal miners there. So that's Tommy Tuberville, right? And this time was no different because last week he tried to pin the blame for inflation on working people. And this is something that, you know, we've heard time and time again, and it's been debunked so many times that it's almost tedious to even go over it again. But this is, you know, this is what people in, Republican elected officials are saying. Let's listen to this clip.
Mr. Higgins, our economy is in incredibly shaky position. Inflation's off the charts, especially after COVID. With all the strikes over the last few years, has that played an impact on our economy?
Have the strikes played an
Yes.
I don't know that they've had much of an impact as of yet, but certainly the increases in pay is going to have creates the problem of potential wage price spiral, and that will increase the inflation itself.
Yeah. Mr. Higgins, our economy is in incredibly shaky position.
It's just
inflation's off the charts.
Oh, yeah, no worries. So, you know, one funny thing about this is that, you know, what he's trying to do is prod this Republican witness, who's Sean Higgins. Sean Higgins is a senior fellow at the Competitive Enterprise Institute. And, you know, these like ghoul right-wing think tanks, it's always funny looking up who their donors are. So I did that. You will not be surprised that the Koch brothers are among the funders. It's also funded in part by Facebook and Google, who I understood Republicans do not like, and also tobacco companies. Tobacco companies among the major funders for the Competitive Enterprise Institute. So, you know, this very reliable, upstanding, virtuous company, right? Funded by tobacco companies. So Tuberville is prodding this guy to say that strikes will increase inflation. But unfortunately, you know, he's not familiar with the particular anti-worker talking points that this guy likes, right? And so Mr. Higgins says, you know, not really, no, the strikes haven't caused inflation. It's that after the strikes are over, the workers make too much damn money. That's what's causing inflation. That's the big deal. They're making too much damn money. Despite the fact that to the extent that wage gains exist at all over the last 4 years, they have always come after the inflation, right? It has never in no industry been the case over the last 4 years that we see first, you know, a 20% increase in wages and then a 20% increase in prices, right? It's always the reverse of that. The price increases come first, and then the workers say, okay, look, I have to pay more to live, so you got to pay me some more money, right? That's always the way that it happens. Prices at the big three auto companies for their vehicles have gone up 40% since 2019, while wages have increased by 6%, okay? Workers are not causing inflation. Obviously. Also comes after the economic consensus is being formed around the observable reality. You know, like this what I'm about to say is not contested. The majority of the revenue generated from increased costs have not gone to wages. not gone to material costs, not gone into supply chain issues. The majority of the revenue generated from increased costs have gone to higher profits, have gone straight into shareholder pockets. That's been the observable reality of the revenue generated from increased costs. But, Tuberville's not going to ask this corporate think tank ghoul about that. He doesn't want to know about that because the people who are actually being hurt by inflation are the people that Sean Fain, Sean O'Brien, and Sarah Nelson represent, right? We are the people that are being hurt by inflation, and the people that benefit from inflation are Tommy Tuberville's donors. And that's the dynamic that, you need to understand. You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.